Welcome back to Talk Horror to Me, the only movie review horror podcast, who every one of our co-hosts was like, there was a big football game? So before we come in and bring all our lovely people to the table, Carly, Ashley, and Brooke, let's see what we're watching tonight. Tonight we review Pet Sematary Bloodline. Pet Sematary Bloodlines is a 2023 American supernatural horror film directed by Lindsey Anderson Beer in her directorial debut, and co-written by Beer and Jeff Buhler. This film serves as a prequel to the 2019 Pet Sematary, which in turn was based on the 1983 novel The Same Name by Stephen King. It is the fourth installment of the Pet Sematary film series and stars Jackson White, Forrest Goodluck, Jack Mulhern, Henry Thomas, Pam Grier, and David Duchovny. In Pet Sematary Bloodlines, in 1969, a young Jud Crandall dreams of leaving behind his small hometown of Ludlow, Maine, but soon discovers sinister local fairy secrets. Jud is forced to confront his dark family history that threatens to forever keep him connected to the town. Woo! Welcome back, y'all. It's been 2 weeks off and 1 week too long. Who picked this movie?
I did, sort of.
Sort of. What do you
sort
mean?
Of. It was. I didn't have a pick, and Chuck was like, "Well, what about Pet Sematary Bloodlines?" I was like, "Okay." So it was my pick, but it was kind of Chuck's pick too.
It was good collaboration.
Yeah.
So, and you know I love things all Stephen King. But before you tell us all about your impressions of the movie, Carly, who do you pick to go first?
I pick Ashley.
I liked this movie. It was like, it started off a little slow, but I dug it because you really got to hate the girlfriend. You know what I mean? But then when shit hit the fan, and I had anxiety through the entire movie. So I say, good job.
All right.
Hell yeah. What do you think, Brooke?
I like the backstory of Jud, like meeting his family and seeing like his storyline and how it all came to be Pet Sematary.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that, especially in terms of you saw the original one, or you read the original story, and they're on the porch, Lewis and Jud, and they're talking about how this happened years ago, and that's like 5 seconds of dialogue or monologue from Jud talking about the guy who came back from the war and what had happened. And so to make that a full picture, I thought they did a fantastic job weaving in that just really short narrative from the book and making it its own thing. So I really did applaud them for taking something that was really kind of throwaway, just more, exposition, and saying, oh, you know what? I'm going to make a whole movie on this 5 minutes and see where it goes. So I thought it was great. I also thought it was slow. I also thought that it's like, all right, okay, we're learning about characters. Why is the father always on the porch? There's something weird going on because everybody's kind of weird vibing. And I thought that might have taken too long to get up, especially in a short movie. It was not that long a movie. But yeah, once it started going, once it got its legs going, it was nonstop. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
I have to say, like, the first Pet Sematary and the second Pet Sematary, they scared me, but this one didn't really scare me. But
because you're older and wiser, Brooke.
I thought it was more killing in the first and second one. I don't know. I felt like.
Yeah, it was more like a slasher movie in its own way, instead of something that you would normally expect from Stephen King. But I really did enjoy it. I found that was interesting to see like Elliot from E.T. and Nora from Pump Up the Volume as the parents.
That's scary in and of itself to show you how old we are.
Oh, that hurt my heart. Jud's backstory, I once it started going, oh my God, it was fantastic. And I loved Manny and Donna. And I was so sad. so sad because she was fun. She was a fun
Mhm.
character. And,
Yeah.
and well, another thing about this movie, though,
Hmm.
is I've watched other things today, and this movie did not stay in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that too. I watched it earlier today, and it's some of the things you guys
Yeah.
are bringing up is like totally like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Right. And I mean, but it did make me feel anxious,
Yeah.
and which was fantastic. But yeah, I'm a little.
Wow. I mean, wait, just to let our audience know, this is just proof positive that we do our homework right away when it's given to us.
100%.
I mean, I watched this movie 2 weeks ago, thinking that we were going to do it last week,
Oh,
and
wow.
and I will have to disagree because I'm a huge Stephen King nut, as you know. So I love chewing on the mythos of things. I did my research, and it said this is a prequel of the 2019 film.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. I'm like, I almost went back to watch the 2019 film just to see what the connections were. They were just trying to reboot it and saying, okay, we're going to throw away all the stuff we have from parts 1 and 2 and make it own like ongoing universe with this kind of backstory to Crandall's. I think it was more evident versus Crandall saying, yeah, we just know this deadfall and you bury your cats there and so they come back to life, whatever. So I think they try to get it deeper with the modern telling, which I thought was interesting. I also loved the tension of the girl in the bog water, like when she's in the mud. And I thought that was kind of super creepy and like this kind of jeopardy. I thought was really good, which we didn't get in the original film. You didn't get a lot of jeopardy. You just got like Lewis and the kid, and let's make sure we figure out the kid before mom comes home, from her mother's. So like this one had a lot more jeopardy, and the idea that Jud was a pacifist, didn't know the town's history or his own history. So it was more of a mystery. But I thought there was more jeopardy of him, one, trying to save people, especially with the father, David Duchovny, like where's the kid that came back from the war, and then being in the bog later on, like trying to, face off. So I thought, this one was a lot more mystery than slashery versus where it was a lot more tension and suspense in the original film. Yeah.
I will say I liked this one a lot more than I liked the 2019 remake, like the reboot. I did like this one more than the reboot.
I did not see the reboot.
Yeah, because I think we got so hung up on the original, and then this was like, we're gonna just reboot it. It was so dark at the end of that film. Carly, when you watch it, just know it's not a happily ever after. Let's just put it that way. At all. So that was one of those things where I kind of expected it to be a little uplifting, if temporary, happy ending. But no. I think that's called happily ever. Happy for
never.
Now. Happy for now.
Now. Okay.
But there was no happy for now nor ever after. So
okay. I just keep thinking back to the original where the little kid was so cute and he goes, not fair.
I know.
That kid was a bastard. That's all I'm going to say. Anybody who's going to cut my Achilles from under the bed with a scalpel, not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool.
He just was full of shenanigans. He's just a silly little boy. He's a silly little boy.
I mean, I think that made him in the original movie more creepy.
It did.
Of having this like almost like a Damien possessed evil little imp going around.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I can't remember the character's name, but the soldier that comes back, David Duchovny's kid, Timmy, was really creepy in his own right. I think the cinematography of like they showing him behind that dirty screen, like front door screen, was like he looked even more decayed than he was. I thought was super cool. So with that, let me not just like preface this, but let's go into our favorites. So I'm going to start with that. That was one of my favorites, is seeing Timmy in a way that was like he wasn't completely disconnected and like rotting, but like they kept showing him in different ways that showed kind of like what it would look like if given enough time. by showing us the screen, the dirty screen, or the, just the bloodiness of him eating gross stuff out of the fridge. I think his portrayal was really, really cool. How about you, Ashley? I know you have favorites.
Oh, I do. I have several, but like one of them that stood out the most is more of a funny favorite, and it's the scene where he goes back to the farm and he wants to, confront Timmy, and he's like standing there, but then all of a sudden the dad shows up and kind of startles him a little bit, but you hear the scurrying away of like Timmy, like, so when you go back he's gone, but just hearing the little like
which was maybe an homage to the original, because we heard a lot of like footfalls
you would always
Gage.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just loved it. It was so cute. It was supposed to be spooky, but it was adorable.
How about you, Carly?
Me, my favorite, I had a few. I really did. Like them dancing, that was fun. But thinking back to the fact that this father buried his son knowing he was going to come back from the dead, when he got disemboweled, I said,
Is that what you said?
He got what was coming.
Hey, he was a father in mourning. I don't think he should have known better. He's done enough X-Files to know that was never good.
Oh, I was so happy with him.
And I think that David Duchovny portrayed it well.
Yeah,
like he was very obstinate about what he had done, like really like defending, like, I'm doing this, but also he was very fragile as well. He seemed like, I think David did a great job, like kind of skirting that line of like knowing what I did was completely wrong, but knowing that it was the only way for me to even feel like I'm grieving right.
He wanted to believe.
Yes, as we all do.
What about
as
you,
we
Brooke?
all do. How about you, Brooke? What favorite moment did you have?
My favorite moment was when, I guess her name is Donna, was in the hospital and she was killing all the nurses and the doctors. That was my favorite part. Like the neck turn with the neck popping out. That was my favorite part. I don't know.
I have a question for you, Brooke. I mean, one, I think you need a psychiatric help. Number two is that was actually the one part of this film I didn't like. Not that it wasn't cool. Not that it wasn't cool.
Right.
But fundamentally, I think it didn't match what we know of like the world building. Like, the girl's running upstairs, then running downstairs, completely different. But yet the girl is always behind her, very slasher-esque style.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't like the fact that it was almost supernatural. Like, instead of it just like, I'm plotting after you because I'm back from the dead and the voices tell me to kill everything. It's not only that, you have that coupled with like, I get to pop up wherever I want. No matter how fast and far you run, I'm right there in front of you or behind you. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that leap in like the supernatural quality of it. I think I'd rather it be, I'm a person tethered to the physical world and not have these supernatural abilities.
Jason
like
vibes.
How Timmy was running real fast, like that.
Yeah,
like
just everything like that was still physicality. Like he can run fast, but the fact that like when everything in the hospital is going down, and just like you're running like for 20 minutes in the film, and then the girl's right there in front of you again. I was like, I didn't like it's a jump scare tactic, and I didn't like that it was felt a little extra. They should have kept it a little more grounded in reality.
Yeah,
at least in that universe.
That's fair. That whole character base kind of threw me off a little bit, just because of the progression that she became violent so quickly. Like there's always that steady progression of like it's slowly losing its mind and succumbing to the voices, but she was just pretty like instant.
Right. And did this happen? I think this must have happened in 2019. I think I don't recall it off the bat, that like the evil spirits are trying to create more of themselves. Does that sound accurate, Ashley, from the 2019 version?
I'd have to rewatch it because they did do like a little bit of diving into the lore, and I feel like they hinted at the whole twist that they really gave us in this one.
Yeah.
But I'd have to rewatch it. I just remember that I didn't like it. That
I didn't like the hopelessness of it all was pretty rough. Now we just need the prequel to the prequel, which is the Crandall family during that Civil War era or whatever it was. I don't know if it was a Civil War. Or was it? It was like conquistador era. I don't forget what it was. Well, they'll come up onto the fort with the medicine man. Yeah,
I don't know.
cross.
I only just watched it earlier today, so I don't know.
So listen, 3 hours have passed. How can I be expected to remember any of it?
But I can say the casting of Jud was really good because you could see how he would become the Jud that was in the movie. Actually, they're talking 2019. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't know because I didn't see 2019.
I
But
always
it
think of
matches
Fred
the original.
Yeah, so that's just Fred Gwynn in stature, kind
Yes.
of facial structure.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do like that they kind of ended the film on the note of sometimes dead is better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool that they always hooked that in because that was really one of my favorite lines. Fred Gwynn said, "Sometimes dead is better." And I just love that. I think it was like so creepy cool. But yet then, why would he go ahead and like perpetuate it anyway? That's what I never understood about Jud. If he knew all this shit was going to go down, and he's like now the guardian of Ludlow.
But everyone knows. Everyone knows. Like the dad who buried the son, he knew what would happen. He knew what would happen, and he still did it anyway.
Yeah.
But they always still do it anyway. It wasn't until like the first Pet Sematary that we really got a break in a new character who wasn't sure what would happen when he buried his son.
Right.
You know,
the mayor knew, the Pam Grier knew. It was like the whole town knows, and we're all going to keep it a secret and not let it get out. But we're also going to like go ahead and do it ourselves because
they're all.
I think maybe like they were
Hypocrite.
drawn to it. I think I say yes to what you just said, but I also think that they are drawn to it. By the evil spirits where they almost can't help themselves, almost like in Derry, where everybody knows there's a killer clown taking all the kids, and nobody seems to be all that concerned because they're kind of been conditioned to forget that these kids are missing. So it may be the same idea.
Very well could be. And it's like grief's hard too. So there's that. Like I'm not, if I knew that there was a place, you think I'm over here being like, oh, they're hypocrites. I would be too. But
except for Ashley, you would start with a fish though. I was like, oh, my goldfish. And they'd be like, why is my goldfish not home yet?
I'd have myself buried there. Are you kidding me? Like it would be in my will. I'd be like, make sure that you bury me at these coordinates. See everybody soon.
Yes, I got more content to make.
Just
so.
stay away from my eyes.
Oh man. For as much as everybody's not a huge fan of this film, like we got a lot of cool things out of it.
There is a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it. It's very.
I was happy that Manny got out too.
Yes. Well, why don't you give it all away? Come on. I mean, it's only a year old.
There's a huge there's one character that I was surprised lived to the end, and I won't ruin it, but I was very surprised.
And
I was just like,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
I mean, I like two things from the ending. One, what happens to Jud where he takes position, and then two, that drive out of town where I'm like, oh man, get past that county line, I'm like, yay! I was expecting like a dome situation where he just like drives straight into it and the entire car crumbles. That's what I was expecting. But yeah, there was some good news on that front. But I had shown the graphic, so I want to know, how are we going to rate this thing? So Carly, let us know who you want to go. Well,
why don't you go, Chuck?
I don't want to. I don't want to. You can't make me. I'm going to say, I mean, I did like the film. I really did. And I do intend to go back to watch the one is based off of this to remember how it goes. Mm-hmm. So I will give it 4.1 attempts to get to the Peace Corps in Canada.
Aw. He really wasn't putting in a lot of effort, if we're being honest.
No, he
I mean, there
wasn't.
was that dog. I mean, we can't just let the dog wander around looking all
And
weird.
the bird crashed into the window. Like,
I mean, you're gonna drive all that way from Maine to Canada with like spidery windshield? No, I'll be like staring out the side, like trying to figure out how to. I can't have that. So I'm gonna pick Ashley. What did you think?
I'm gonna give this a 4 because I love it, but I don't like love it. But I'm gonna give this 4. Oh my gosh, your nails! Why would you do that?
So obviously, you have things with digits.
Yeah, you guys will just have to watch it to make sense of my rating.
Yes.
Miss Brooke.
Mine, 3.7 slices to the leg. I think it's leg or ankles, one of the two.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, very nice.
All right. And Miss Carly Yates.
Oh, it didn't stay with me, but I had fun watching it. So I'm going to give it a solid 4 flare guns.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good.
But movies don't have to stay with you or stay with you for long to be good. I have learned that we watch it because we consume so much content in this house that as good as something is, like we were talking today, it's like, what was that thing we were watching that we loved? And it's been like 2 months. We're like, I don't know. You got to be more specific. We watch a lot of stuff. So sometimes if you're saying you were watching movies today, you know, Carly, you're just taking like, okay, it's in my brain and I'm going to replace that with the new movie I'm watching. So, sometimes you only hold on to it for so long. And that just means we have to watch it again. But
by
Carly,
Pet Sematary logic, it's okay that sometimes things stay gone.
That's true. Or in other Stephen King parlance, sometimes they come back. So it's sometimes
okay.
In our dreams later tonight, Carly will be having some messed up Pet Sematary dreams.
It's like he'll get on the comments like, I remember now. But Carly, go ahead. I was gonna say, Carly, since you'll remember it all, and this is your film, what do you remember, and what do you want to also say before we move on from this film?
Well, it's hard because I end up spoiling everything. But
you'll get better at it one day. Hey, just don't give away the ending to Sixth Sense. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're funny. But what do I remember? I remember the sibling, the Manny and Donna. It was their bond was so fantastic, and it hurt my heart what happened.
And I think it was doubly painful because what happens, and then like Ashley said, it happened so fast, the transformation. Yeah, which is like, oh, you don't want that for that person because they were such a pure spirit. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe the purest spirits become the quickestly evil.
Yeah, and it was quick.
Yeah,
it was real quick.
She went from kind of, seeing tunnel vision to bam.
Yeah.
I'm like evil now.
Yep.
And the casting was good.
Yeah.
I still can't get over the parents.
That's why you don't remember anything else. She's like, the parents, I remember them when they were my age.
It's like, oh my God.
I was just surprised to see Pam Grier. I'm like, oh, she's still acting?
Yeah, and to see her in such a role as mail carrier, a little strange, but I will say that I do love, and I think, again, prequel-wise, there's so much more depth we could go with, like, what the town knows. Because they all got together, like the 4 of them, like, oh, this is happening again. We got to, like, stop it. It's like, so it was really cool, like, that there's this inner sanctum, this inner circle of people who are in charge of protecting things. Mm-hmm. So I think that's super interesting. So I would love to see that gap between when the original Crandall, starts eating people, his bowels out, to like, the 1960s, like father knows best sitting on a porch. So I think there's some really cool stories that could be told. Absolutely.
I'm sure if Jud's sitting on that porch with his cigarette and his rocking chair, he'll tell you those stories.
He will, but maybe he should learn to keep the zip shut. Just I don't. That's just me though. But with that, what's next? I don't know who's next.
Who is
it?
You are, Brooke.
I am. Oh,
Yes.
Oh man.
Again, we are a very professional live stream who does all our homework up front. And by that I mean I have a piece of paper right here with Brooke's pick.
Brooke's pick. I already
Just Ashley, I'll let you know you're next after this. So just FYI. Brooke, Orphan 2, First Kill, I believe, was the film you wanted us to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Do we know quickly where this is showing?
Paramount Plus, I think.
All right.
I think.
Let's look.
Let's all look.
Yeah.
We
We're
got
gonna do
time.
our homework right now. While everyone's looking, I will distract you all with this amazing trick. Whoa. This is insane. Wow.
Still streaming.
All right, I'm getting Paramount.
Yeah,
Also
Paramount.
Amazon with subscriptions. Yeah, Amazon or Paramount you should get. Also says MGM Plus, but we ain't got all that.
No, we don't.
We ain't got time for that.
No.
We only have 57 streaming services to help support this show. So if you'd like to support our show.
Right.
So that's awesome, ladies. I'm glad you did your homework today. Amazing. Which is probably better than me doing it I know, right? Which is probably better than me doing it 2 weeks ago because I still don't remember half the stuff I saw. I'm more of a vibe person, you know?
Yeah. Nothing wrong
makes
with that.
What?
So nothing wrong with that.
No, we all have our ways. We all have our different ways. I watch mine at 10 p.m. to midnight on Wednesdays, and you watch it 11 a.m. the show day. So, and then Brooke goes online and watches it from her director's cut collection.
I got the special edition.
You did?
not Bloodline, but
All right, but Brooke, now because you've said that, you need to come to the table next week with what was on that director's cut, that extended cut that we didn't get access to.
Still, the Arizona green tea, not sponsored.
Nice.
But if you would like to sponsor us,
This episode is sponsored by Arizona Iced Tea. Not.
yes. Oh my gosh, I would die if they gave me like a whole bunch of these. It has to be this one. All the other ones are gross. Sorry.
Hey, I'm still waiting for my Starbucks endorsement. So I'm trying. I'm trying to get.
I believe in you.
I believe in you. Even if I only get a gift card and you only get 12 cases of Arizona Iced Tea.
Yeah, I would be happy with one free can. To be honest, I'd be like, hey, sponsor.
There you go, Arizona Iced Tea manufacturers. One can is all that you need to bring her
All
over
it
to the dark
takes.
side. So, Carly, you and Brooke need to also manifest what kind of sponsorship you want.
Yeah,
I
it
already
really.
had mine. Ginger ale.
Yes! Oh my gosh! I love ginger ale. I support that. Carly, don't let me down. No pressure.
No pressure. Right. Oh no, just give me cookies and cream.
Follow your heart,
Yes!
Carly. What do you
Great
want?
value.
Yes, cookies and
Yes!
cream.
Okay. I thought Carly was going to go with like, just cut me a check for 10 grand. That's,
That would work too. That would
Oh.
work.
What? All I got was one can.
Yeah. See, Ashley, you got to shoot higher. That's all.
Damn it. I'm just easy to please.
I was like, hey, I didn't say how much money I wanted on my Starbucks gift card. I just said I want a gift card. But with that, hey, we're all done with our non-sponsorship dreams. So we will let you beautiful ladies go for another lovely Sunday night. Miss you both. Again, 2 weeks is too long for me to be with you. So with that, I will bid you adieu and adieu and adieu. And with that, thank you so much for staying with us for another Sunday night. Sorry we were gone. That big game was a real terrible thing. We apologize. But with that, don't ever forget, we are here to scare you later.